Before you guys listen to the stories, could you please help support us by liking and subscribing to this new channel? Most of you watching aren't subscribed, so please help us grow. We really appreciate it. Now on to the stories. Sleepovers at Sarah's place are legend. We always have epic nonsense middle school gossip fests fueled by popcorn, candy, and soda way past bedtime. And Sarah's known for conking out cold by dawn no matter what. Like full-on snoring with eye mask and lavender oil diffusing. High-maintenance sleeper, that one. So it's no shocker when she starts lightly snoring from her plush queen bed an hour before we've exhausted all hot takes on our class crushes. Emily and I just giggled and debate draping toilet paper garlands over Sarah's passed-out form. But hey, that karma. We leave her be. Around 3 a.m., delirious sugar high fading as gray light peeks behind the curtains. Em and I drift off tangled together on a pile of cushions and blankets on the floor. The usual slumber party sitch in Casa de Sarah. I'm just fading out when a weird March step thudding jolts me awake. Bleary-eyed, I make out Sarah bolt upright in a rigid pose, starkly silhouetted by the moonlight beyond her wall window. Her eyes are weirdly open, but blank, and she's slowly high-stepping onto the carpet with this stiff gait like she's moving through molasses. Emily stirs next to me as Sarah mechanically grabs a sweater hanging off a chair, putting it on inside out. Okay, that's just weird. Emily hisses, "What's she doing?" The same time I whisper yell, "Sarah, you sleepwalking?" No response besides more thudding March steps towards the door. Emily and I exchange freak glances. I mean, it's no big secret Sarah struggles with somnambulism. We've heard tales of her family finding her banging pots and pans in the kitchen at odd hours, or getting ready for school in her sleep. She doesn't remember any of it afterwards. But seeing her all stiff and wide-eyed, almost gliding out the door motionless as we scramble to follow, it feels straight out of a horror movie sequel. My heart's racing double time as she leads us silently down the stairs, while Emily hisses about waking her parents. But I can't tear my eyes away from Sarah's trance. What if startling her awake makes it worse? Gotta guide her back safe. Outside on the moonlit lawn, the night air sends prickles down my arms as we trail Sarah's barefoot form towards the looming tree line. The woods behind her rambling house suddenly seem ominous, branches casting spangly shadows that twist like clawed hands across the grass. Emily's repetitively whispering, "Sarah, Sarah, you're sleeping, baby," through chattering teeth behind me. Still no reaction. Just mechanical lurching footsteps drawing nearer to the void black tree cover. I swallow hard as we unwillingly fall into march formation too, compelled to follow our entranced friend into the grasping woods. Thorny underbrush snags my Hello Kitty pews under a canopy of leaves that blots out the silvery sky. It's disorienting, unable to see Sarah's pale gown anymore, just hear crackling shuffles up ahead, indicating her location. Until those sounds halt abruptly too. I nearly smack right into Emily's back. Both of us frozen to listen for Sarah, but hearing only our own tense breathing. I dig my phone out with damp, shaky fingers, flashlight wand, and dim barely cutting through branches. Illuminated faintly ahead through spindly trunks, I glimpse Sarah standing statue still, utterly silent. We edge towards her as if approaching a mirage, pine needles muffling our pleas for her to turn around as my light catches her shadowy profile. Something here feels watchful awaiting. Her head is bowed chin to chest now and breathing slow as Emily recounts that's also common in deep sleep cycles. Despite knowing the science behind it, nerves still scream something innately wrong as we coerce Sarah's rigid form to turn with us. And turn she finally does after an agonizing moment, revolving in an inhumanly smooth pivot back towards the house. I see her eyes then, rolled back whites glowing through tangled hair in my weak flashlight. A shocked gasp escapes me when she shifts her neck unnaturally further like an owl to peer behind us, deeper into the stagnant dark of knotted tree trunks and vines. Her sleeping gaze trained on something I can't bring myself to imagine as we hurriedly steer her stiffly marching form back towards the lawn, the entire way casting fearful glances over our shoulders. The oblivious mechanical rhythm of her steps is almost more terrifying than if she was reactively frightened. Will we even know if she awakens before it's too late? The thought chases us all the way out of those woods through the moonlit grass and up into the still house. Only once Sarah is retucked firmly beneath blankets in her bed, looking peacefully childlike once more to Emily, and I release choked nervous laughs that we made it out unscathed. My bestie Lee's birthday sleepover is our tradition since like 3rd grade, even though her parents definitely still think we're sweet braid-making angels instead of legit teenagers now. 11 girls crowded in Lee's basement giggling over pizza and pop music. Chaos, which always leads to trying to prank each other for laughs. So none of us thought much about the random phone chilling under the couch during a selfie break. Figured someone dropped it pulling a fake call stunt, until it started dinging non-stop. We poked it curiously since no lock screen prevented our investigating, and things got weird fast. In a group chat titled Slumber Party Surveillance, messages from an encryption username were rolling in addressing us all in unsettling detail about what we were doing. Fun posing for selfies, but beware purple nail polish staining the white cushions underneath you. How did they know Lee's signature color, and our literal body positioning? Next barrage had us freaking. Music's too loud, girls. Turn it down so the neighbors don't wake up angry. We scrambled to hit mute as shouted grumbles simultaneously echoed outside, making us shriek. Just a spooky coincidence, surely? When we whispered theories about who was pranking us, the eerie responder name dropped clique gossip no outsider would possibly know. Cold prickles broke out as we stared around wide-eyed, fearing one of our so-called friends wasn't as trustworthy as we believed. Until the messages started explicitly foretelling trivial things that hadn't happened yet, as if this phantom presence was also psychic. We watched the typing bubbles in morbid fascination. Adriana walking upstairs in 10, 9, 8. Exactly on 0 Q, we heard footsteps right as Adriana stood up without a word and began climbing the stairs. Our stunned silence erupted into horrified screams like a Halloween funhouse come to life. Who is this? How are you doing this? We demanded. Vaguely the responses alluded to protecting us, and watching this party unwind. Beyond unsettling. Soon we were outright accusing each other of orchestrating an elaborate prank. Hysterical group breakdown imminent. That's when one final bubble appeared as ominous as a death knell. You seem disturbed. I just wanted to wish dear Leah a special birthday, and suggest this horror movie for your sleepless night. Attached was the link and cover art to some obscure scary movie literally no one had mentioned tonight. As we stared slack-jawed wondering if we were being recorded, every light abruptly cut out. Pitch black hysteria replaced the false comfort of strings of party bulbs as 11 phones lit up with the same promotional image of the freaky unknown film. Terror seized us in the flashlight glow of our selfie shots just minutes earlier as we realized no human rumor mill could be this omniscient. We had invited something unnatural to imprint upon our trusted circle, and it seemed to be relishing our chaotic unraveling. All we could do was cling together silently praying for light of day to purge this merciless voyeur. Longest hours ever huddled hidden under blankets like prey, flinching if anyone shifted to cries of who's there. The glowing numbers on the wall clock seemed frozen, but none dared check that cursed phone for what might await there next. Dawn finally dissolved the shadows along with the twisted game. Of course by then the phone was dead, no record of violated privacy remaining. No matter how hard we pushed accusing each other of high-tech tricks in the aftermath, nobody could rationally explain the cold watchful presence we all sensed among us. Obviously unspoken now was the bone-chilling fact something truly malicious had found us because of Lee's annual tradition broadcast for attention, and it would likely be waiting greedily for her next birthday countdown to toy with us again. If we were brave or foolish enough to ever tempt fate by returning. My bestie Kara just moved into a gorgeous Victorian fixer-upper that her parents scored for cheap. Like criminal cheap. As part of her housewarming sleepover, we're helping unpack while gossiping about the sheer size of the place. We stumble on some photo albums left behind in the attic, and obviously have to snoop the previous fam. At first it's just cute retro pics, floral dresses, boiled dinners, outdated hair, and a few fancy-dressed adult parties with guests mingling by the fireplace we passed lugging a mattress down earlier. But the further we flip back into the 70s albums, things gradually get stranger in the background of those party shots. Kara spots it first, a shadowy blurred figure peeking around the corner doorway. We joke it's photobombing ghosts, but the image makes me uneasy for some reason. In the next party pic, the dark human-shaped blur is closer, lingering deeper in the room by the booze table. Super weird aesthetic for a photo album. Kara gasps and points as we slowly page forward. The shadow presence incrementally nears in each shot, darker and more defined. By the last party pic, the formless smoky mass has shifted right behind the main subjects. I swear the eyes are locked onto me as Kara slams the album shut. We shove the whole stack back into musty storage, trying to brush off the oddness. Just some artsy retro developing glitch, right? But neither of us can shake the watchful unease. Hours later, over steaming mugs and cheesy DVDs, Kara admits she already knew about those pictures, and the freakish story behind them. That's why her parents snatched this mansion on the cheap from some hurry out-of-town inheritors. Rumor is, the original family fled after a creepy encounter the night their patriarch died under weird circumstances decades ago. Party guests reported the scraggly man aggressively accusing random visitors all night of trespassing in his house. He eventually turned up dead in his locked study amongst artifacts collected from his extensive travels. By then, everyone was on edge after glimpsing something shadowy prowling the grounds, watching them through the windows even before the man's public confrontations and odd death. The story made local papers along with a witness description of the prowler, a tall, ragged silhouette with a wide brim hat and dark hollow eyes. Over time, heirlooms went missing plus more sightings of the shadow man on the property, as if he was drawn to his old belongings. Guests stopped coming over. The family moved away to escape not long after finding those albums with the slowly encroaching figure. Now here we were rifling through the images like idiots. A floorboard creak cuts through our hushed theories. Imaginations in overdrive, we cling together peering out the nearest window into the moonlit yard path, expecting to see an approaching hat and coat. Nothing yet, just skeletal trees and bare flower beds. I can't tell if Kara's joking about using creepy history to get a discount, or if she really believes her rambling new manor might have held on to more than wainscoting and proud molding during its empty years. As we turn off the lights, I swear I glimpse a flutter at the window, but Kara is already snoring. I lay frozen watching shadows play on the ceiling. Random tree branches blend into reaching arms and trailing cloth. I squeeze my eyes shut, telling myself it's a trick of an overactive mind. Until tremors jolt me awake just shy of dawn. The room is freezing. Kara is bolt upright next to me, clutching my arm with trembling fingers. Through the parted yellow lace curtains, a shape hovers under the leafless elm. The same hat. Collar turned up, obscuring hollow features. But even at a distance, there's no mistaking the uncanny sensation of being watched by vacant eyes. Kara whimpers something about thinking she was ready for this, but she can't do it. I'm already grabbing our things, scattering them out the side door, not even caring we're in pajamas as we sprint down the slick street. We don't stop glancing over our shoulders until we reach her aunt's house, where we convince her panicked parents to let us stay another night. Now Kara lives with that aunt until the house sells, while her parents are taking a sudden extended vacation abroad. Nobody will admit exactly what they glimpsed in the bare pre-dawn light that seemed to seep straight into your bones. But I think we all know nothing thrives better off fear than something kept waiting restless in the shadows for unsuspecting company. And it isn't as simple to evict as overdue guests when they finally come creeping in from the cold.